Hello and welcome to Late to School, a My Hero Academia watchcast. I'm Lorena.
And I'm Zach.
And before we start, I looked up what UA means.
Okay, cool.
So, you look at UA, you think, that's an acronym.
Yeah.
No. It's the Japanese word for hero is AU. So UA is AU backwards.
Oh.
But written with Latin letters instead of kanji or katakana or whatever.
Okay.
Doesn't mean anything in universe as far as I'm aware.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's just a pun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sure. That tracks.
Today we're going to be watching 2 episodes as usual. The first of...
Your tone shifted so strongly there.
I went into business mode. It's time to do business.
I gotta focus, I'm shifting into business mode.
Our first episode this week is episode 8, Bakugo's Start Line, which first aired May 22nd, 2016 in Japan, and June 30th, 2018 in English.
So we start out with the recap, just last time...
It's a few last times, actually.
Yeah,
it's
kind of.
Multiple episodes.
Bakugo's flashback to being baby with Deku, who is also baby. Then, the test. It's not a test. It's a practice thing, right?
What are you thinking of?
The fucking fight that they just did last episode.
Oh yeah, this was a this is just an exercise.
The villain fight.
This is just like the teacher. I know this metaphor is going to mean nothing to you, but the teacher hands out like a worksheet that's like, here's some math problems.
I have been to school.
You have?
Just not a high school.
Oh, okay.
We do that kind of thing in college.
That's true. Wait, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't do that at all when I went to college.
Okay. But yeah, Deku got his arm all fucked up. Got his both arms all fucked up, really. And now Bakugo is just emotionally fucked up because he lost. And in the present, after that little recap is done, Bakugo is still freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And we also see the kids in the other room.
Yeah.
In the monitor room with All Might watching this. And they're like, holy shit! That was cool as hell. And one of the kids, I forget which, notes that Bakugo and Iida are fine, pretty much, but they lost.
Yeah.
And both Deku and Uraraka are real fucked up, and they won.
Or we see Uraraka, like, vomiting.
Yes.
Because she used her power so much. And of course Deku is broken.
He's just broken. And one of the kids then, the bird boy, the guy who's a bird, the boy who is a bird,
yes,
says that they may have lost the battle, but they won the war. And then the frog girl is like, this class is intense.
I love Frog Girl, despite being a frog, is the most down to earth.
Well, frogs are very down to earth. They got very low bodies. They're very down.
Yeah. Imagine if frogs just had giraffe legs. Imagine if frogs were just the same size, generally, but their legs are like not as big as giraffes, but like 6 feet long.
6.
They just walk around on stilts.
You would need different gravitational pull.
Fuck
I think. But also, would they keep the mad hops? Because that's proportionally way madder hops.
No, I don't think they keep the hops because their legs would be structured very, very differently.
That's true. Because like a giraffe, I'm pretty sure will die if it jumps.
Yeah.
Because of the fucking square cube law. Anyway, what the fuck are we...
Class is intense.
Bakugo is hyperventilating.
Yes, we see like it's a few moments later and they've like put Deku on a stretcher.
Yes.
And are wheeling him out.
We also, I do want to point out, the stretcher is operated by 2 seemingly robots.
Yeah.
and they talk to each other, and they have, like, personalities. So that's odd.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's a thing that exists in superhero universes all the time.
And we know that robots exist.
Yeah, but they just have not introduced the concept of sapient AI.
Well, we
to
don't
this
know
universe.
that they're sapient.
I guess not, but one of them is smart enough to snark at the other.
I guess. You can program a personality.
Why would you program your medical robots to snark at each other?
Fun! It's fun! Adds a human touch. Anyway, Bakugo's hyperventilating. He is having a panic attack over the fact that he lost to Deku. Which is very intense actually to watch happen.
Because Bakugo doesn't do anything halfway.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of intense to watch in general.
And then All Might comes over and puts a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah. And he says, "Young Bakugo, cool your jets." It's... I love that All Might just talks like that, also. "Let's go review your work. Whether you win or lose, you can always take something away from an experience like this, as long as you're open to learning."
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't super help Bakugo, but
it doesn't help Bakugo, but it is it's what All Might should say in this situation.
Exactly, yes. They head out back to the monitor room.
Yeah.
It might be a different monitor room, actually, because it seems brighter.
Well, he probably turned the lights on because they're not,
That's true.
actively watching
They're
the
not
fight
watching anything on the projector.
I don't remember what happens to Uraraka. Does she get sent to the nurse's office too? I don't remember.
We do see her
in the monitor room.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, Iida's fine.
And Bakugo has been dragged along and is just kind of sulking in a corner while this is going on. And All Might declares an MVP for that round, who is Tenya Iida.
Yeah.
Even though he lost. And the other kids are like, wait, what?
Hold on.
Shouldn't it be one of the ones who, won?
And All Might is like, yes, you would think so. Can anyone point out why Tenya is the MVP, but not Midoriya or Uraraka?
Mm-hmm.
And Big Ponytail Girl raises her hand, and basically points out that Midoriya, Deku, and Uraraka won the fight, but Deku got real fucked up.
Yeah.
And he and Bakugo nearly destroyed the building, the base. Which is bad because it's the villain's base, and bad because it's
a building
in a city.
And also, it was just a really reckless move.
Mm-hmm. And Uraraka's final move, which I don't think we said, she does call out a name for her attack.
Yeah, what does she call it?
She says, improvised special move, the Comet Home Run. The Comet Home Run was a lot of debris heading towards a nuke.
Yeah.
Which, if it was a real nuke, could be bad.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Iida got very into character and played according to what would make actual sense in the scenario if it was real. And as Ponytail Girl is explaining this, Iida is just slowly becoming happier and happier as he realized he didn't actually fuck up.
And after she finishes her explanation, we get a zoom in on her and present Mike character profile explaining that she is Momo Yaoyorozu.
Yes.
And she is one of the 4 students who were admitted to UA based entirely on recommendations.
Yes. It's notably doesn't mention her quirk.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this kid's quirk is yet.
Yeah. We will see her use her quirk later, but it's not clear that that's what's happening. And we'll talk about it when we get to it.
Okay.
Yaoyorozu is voiced in English by Colleen Clinkenbeard.
That's a fantastic name.
Who plays Lilith in the Borderlands franchise.
Okay.
Mia Fey in the
Oh.
Ace Attorney anime. And Monkey D. Luffy in One Piece.
Okay.
And her Japanese voice actress is Marina Inoue, who voices Armin Arle in Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Yoko Littner in Gurren Lagann. And Alicia Melchiot in Valkyria Chronicles.
Oh, cool. That's one I know.
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of other roles I recognized from her, but I had to limit myself.
Okay.
But yeah, All Might is like kind of embarrassed
Yes.
that she got it so spot on.
Uh-huh. And also tries to kind of seems to make something up to correct her on. Because he's like, you're almost dead on. Because he also could have been less into it.
I think after that, All Might says that it's time for the rest of the...
Yeah, he says, now then, time to blow this joint. And then he starts up the other mock battles.
And we get like a montage, or no, we get one fight, sort of.
Yes. And then later we'll get a montage, but,
we see, the Tail Boy.
Yes.
And the Invisible Girl, who are the villain team.
Yes. They're Team I.
Invisible Girl is immediately taking off her gloves and explaining that she's going to get completely naked so no one can see her.
Yeah.
And Tailboy is thankfully not too gross about it.
He's not. I wouldn't call him gross about it. I would say he's embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's just like, it's kind of weird knowing that there's a naked girl right next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very good exchange where, as she is taking off her gloves, she's like, just don't look, okay? And he's like, what's the difference?
Uh-huh.
Which is really funny.
Fucked up that UA would allow a student's uniform to just be naked.
Naked, but with gloves.
With gloves and shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Also fucked up the author of this manga would create a character whose hero costume is that.
Uh-huh.
Like, even if you can't see anything, you know why that's that. And it sucks.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
It could have just been, like, however the fuck...
Like, she has, like,
Susan Storm's outfit
right?
works. Or Violet from Violet Incredibles. Par, yeah. That's their name. That's funny because it's a pun.
Yeah.
It's sort of a reverse pun, right? Because it's like the standard.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's confusing because the movie is called The Incredibles,
yes.
but they aren't The Incredibles.
No.
Anyway, we see the hero team who have entered the base.
We get a zoom in on one of them.
Well, we see the big boy with the multiple arms.
Yes, he's got 6 arms that have gross webbing between them.
He's wearing a face mask also.
Yes. I have a suspicion of why he's doing that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could be wrong, but...
Okay. Yeah, we get a shout out for him from Present Mike. Explaining that he is Mezzo Shoji, and his quirk is dupla arms. Did you write down what, like, the explanation for his quirk?
He can replicate different body parts on the tips of his tentacles.
Mm-hmm.
And President Mike is like, now that's super strange.
And we see a mouth form on one of his tentacles.
First an ear, and then a mouth.
Listening for, like, where the other team is. And then he tells his partner, who is the ice boy.
Like half of him is covered in ice.
Also, Shoji's voice actor, English voice actor is Ian Sinclair.
Okay. That sounds vaguely familiar. I wonder if I know.
Is Luke Atme in the Ace Attorney anime.
Well, I don't know him from that.
Right. He's Brooke, who is the skeleton with the afro from One Piece.
Okay. I don't know him from that.
Berkut in Fire Emblem Echo, Shadows of Valentia.
Okay, there we go. Mm-hmm. There's one.
His Japanese voice actor is Masakazu Nishida, who he's Kiyoma Katagiri in Gunslinger Stratos. I don't know what the fuck that character is or what that show is, but it appeared multiple times on his page, so, maybe someone knows it.
Maybe someone.
That's all I got, though. That's all I got for him.
Gunslinger Stratos is a version of Kratos that has a gun and is straight.
So, Kratos, but he has a gun.
Yeah.
Okay. Ice Boy tells Shoji that he's got it from here. Leave the building for your own safety.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Shoji points out that Invisible Girl and Tail Boy are both barefoot.
Yes.
Tail Boy because he's like his costume is just like karate gi.
Yeah. He's just a martial artist. I guess.
Invisible Girl because she got naked.
Uh-huh.
And Ice Boy tells Shoji to leave.
Uh-huh.
He places his hand on one of the walls, and the whole building freezes over.
Yep. And
Tailboy and Invisible Girl are panicking and can't move.
Yes,
because their feet are frozen.
We see the ice has formed over Tailboy's feet.
Mm-hmm.
Also, his feet are kind of weird too, right? Aren't his feet weird?
I didn't look closely at his feet.
I feel like he's got weird lizard feet.
Okay.
And we just see footprints in the ice to indicate where the Invisible Girl is.
Mm-hmm. And Ice Boy arrives.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really cool he has his costume is half of his body is covered in I assume fake ice or maybe real ice.
Maybe.
And he has a red eye on that side. And the eye sort of trails
light. Yeah. It's very cool. I love that effect.
And he just very calmly walks over to the nuke. And places his hand on it, and he wins.
And All Might is like, holy shit!
We see all the other people in the observation room, and they're all shivering.
And All Might is like, hey, pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking just completely disabled the opposing team without any harm to his teammate or himself.
Or the weapon. There's a bit where he turns to Tailboy and is like, don't feel bad, we're just playing on different levels. And then we get a Present Mike zoom in, explaining that he is Shoto Todoroki, and his quirk is half cold, half hot.
He was also another of the 4 students admitted based on recommendations. And we also see him use the half-hot part of that quirk.
Right, to melt all the ice.
He just melts all the ice in the building.
Todoroki's voice actor is David Matranga, who is Tomoyo Okazaki in the Clannad series.
Okay, I've heard of that.
And Hidaka in Flip Flappers.
Oh, hey!
Yeah. His Japanese voice actor is Yuki Kaji, who is Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan. And Hope Estime in the Final Fantasy XIII series.
Okay.
Fabula Nova Crystallis.
Yeah.
Is that it? That's the right one, right?
Is it Fabula or Fabula?
I mean,
I'm not sure it's a real word.
I don't know. I have no idea. I learned Latin for 3 years, but I don't know anything about real Latin words. Anyway.
Meanwhile, Bakugo is looking like he's still gonna have another panic attack throughout that whole match.
He is seen how effective Todoroki is and is shit, fuck, God, he's so good. And then we get a montage of I think all of the rest of the matches.
Yes,
I don't think
so.
any are missing.
There's a song over this.
Yeah, this is Hero A.
Okay, we have heard this song.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize it had English lyrics.
Yeah, it has English rap lyrics. We see
I actually wrote down all the different teams and stuff.
Oh, good.
They show the team names with the letters. But yeah, we see a kid with weird elbows.
Yeah,
I don't think I've even noticed this kid before.
He's got greasy black hair.
Yeah,
he shoots tape out of his elbows.
Yeah.
His elbows are they look like
tape dispensers.
Like
he's just smuggling rolls of duct tape under his skin.
He is teamed up with spiky red hair boy.
Yeah, who makes his hands turn all like stone-like and sharp.
Yeah.
And then we see fighting them. That's Team J. And we see fighting them is Team H, who is the bird boy, and we see him use his quirk, which is not just being a bird, I guess.
No, it's not.
He under his like cool cloak, he's got big arms on his back. That are kind of wing-like, I guess.
Yeah.
Is maybe what they're going for there, which is why he's a bird. And then also Frog Girl, who just climbs on a wall and goes ribbit. And we don't actually see that fight, because again, it's just a montage. We see Team C, which is Momo.
Yeah. Yaoyorozu.
Yaoyorozu, okay. I need to get used to the last
names. It's a lot of
names.
syllables.
Yeah. Especially considering Momo is far easier to memorize for me. And we just see her boarding up a door.
Yeah, with like steel girders.
Yeah, again, not using her quirk yet.
She is, but it's not clear.
Wait.
I can just tell you what her quirk is.
Okay.
I don't think it's like a spoiler. She can create things from her body.
Oh.
As long as she like knows a schematic or something.
Okay. She's a technomancer.
Basically. I guess, she can create technology. And we see the great boy being gross.
Yeah.
And she gets mad at him.
Which is justified. And we fighting them is Team G, which is a girl who I also haven't noticed before, I think, who has USB ears.
Yes, they're headphone jacks, I think.
Oh, okay.
Which might be a type of USB. I don't know the like technical specifications of USB jack or headphone jacks.
I wonder if she plugged her ears into a headphones.
I think we see that. I think that happens later.
Okay. I guess I wasn't paying attention.
She plugs into the wall.
Yes, and then Blonde Boy, who is my fave, the guy who hates Bakugo, he makes some electricity with his hands. Which I guess figures for me.
Yeah.
You know, of course my fave would have electricity powers. I fucking love electricity powers.
Also, look at his hair.
Look at his hair, also. He looks like a fucking Jolteon. And then we see Team F, who is the big guy in the yellow suit.
Yeah.
With very pronounced lips in his design that are... I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's supposed to indicate anything. Or if it's just a stylistic thing. And then also, he's very intense. And then we see his partner, who is sort of a shark-shaped man.
Yeah.
Who is less intense and is kind of freaked out by him. And then there's another team where they didn't show the letter for some reason. The last one. So I don't know what letter it is because I didn't go through all the letters to see which one's missing. But it's the French boy with the navel laser, whose name we know and I've already forgotten.
Yeah, it's, he's here.
Belly button laser.
He's like walking very daintily down the hall.
Daintily and smugly. And then the pink girl is like, surf's up! And is sliding down the hall.
On a trail of slime.
Yes. And some of the slime splashes on the boy's cape and dissolves bits of it. And she's like, ooh, sorry.
So now you know how she's slugged.
She's got slime. And it's acid slime also. And then all the exercises are done. Yeah. And we see, afterward, everybody gathered outside. All Might is there, obviously. Because he's the teacher, and he's praising everybody for doing such a good job. And I believe notes that there were no significant injuries except for Midoriya.
And then he...
Well, for the record, first of all, I do want to add that he... I think Frog Girl says... It's nice to hear some encouraging words after our homeroom class. Yeah. Mr. Aizawa was kind of a buzzkill.
Yeah.
And All Might is like, I'm happy to bring such staggering positivity to my alma mater.
And then, now see how a true hero leaves the scene. Like he's got somewhere to be. And he just jets in the opposite direction. And we see why.
Everybody is like, oh, he's so cool.
And we see him running, and he's like thinking about like Midoriya, Deku, and thinking about how like Bakugo is like extremely cocky and self-confident, and a school like UA could absolutely destroy him if he's not careful.
Which I really like him being so concerned about Bakugo. Like he really isn't playing favorites.
Yeah,
he is concerned about all of the students in his tutelage.
And then, but before he can like sort of like finish that thought, he's like, we see him start steaming, and he's like, but I gotta, not right now, can't think about that right now. And he turns a corner into another room and closes a door behind him and just shrinks.
And he's like, I can barely hold on long enough to teach a class. Shit.
And I think then we see Deku in the nurse's office.
Yes. We see he is hooked up to an IV, and has one arm in a cast. And All Might is there. He's still in skinny mode. And Recovery Girl is also there. And she is complaining about how this one kid's fucked up again. Just all fucking every time.
I think she says also something about One for All.
Yes, yeah.
How All Might gave it to Deku. Yes. I don't remember exactly what she says about it.
She does mention that though, so we know that she knows that. And thankfully, All Might then exposits about that.
He like sort of defends himself for letting Deku fight so hard. He explains that he wanted Deku to know that he could win. And then he's like, also, by the way, don't talk so loud. And he explains that the faculty and most pro heroes know that he can't maintain his muscle form.
Right.
But only Recovery Girl, the principal, and a close friend of his, and Deku know about how One for All can be passed down.
Yeah. Also, we see silhouettes of all those people. And the silhouette for the close friend of his is just a man.
It's just a normal man.
Just an anime man. So we can't really glean any information from that. But the silhouette for the principal is the little rat man that we saw in that one episode. Also, Recovery Girl explains that she literally can't use her power on Deku right now to heal him more quickly because it will take up too much of his stamina.
She also like is like doesn't understand why it's so important that All Might like keep One for All a secret.
Yeah.
And All Might explains that if people knew that a quirk could be passed down like that, the world would go into chaos because everyone would just be trying to get it.
Triforce Wars. Ceiling Wars. Ceiling Wars? Is that it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
And then we see Deku's dream, which is just a bunch of scenes we've already seen before.
Yeah. I can't even remember what scenes they are.
It's just like All Might telling him he can be a hero, Bakugo telling him he's a piece of shit.
Basically all the interactions we've had in the show so far.
Yeah. And then he like wakes up, he sees that it's afternoon. And Recovery Girl is like, hey, you're up.
And scares the shit out of him. And we see him like walking down the halls, and he's complaining to himself, I missed all my afternoon classes. Mr. Aizawa's probably gonna choke me with his scarf. And then he goes into the 1A classroom. And there's a bunch of students still there. We
see, they all see him, and they like all start to like, they're like, oh, hey, you were really cool out there, Midoriya. And they start to introduce themselves. Spiky red hair boy introduces himself as Eijiro Kirishima first. Greasy hair tape boy.
Yeah, that's Tape Boy?
That's Tape Boy.
Okay. Hantasero, is that his name?
Hantasero, I think?
Hantasero.
Pink slug girl.
Yes.
Introduces herself as Mina Ashido.
Yes.
And is very excited about how he dodged a lot.
Uh-huh. I think she also interrupts the French boy from introducing himself.
The big man, the big boy.
Yeah. He literally introduces himself by going, "Hey, Sato!"
And then the great boy jumps into the scene and introduces himself as Mineta, and everyone's like, "Where'd you come from?" And then we see the bird boy,
hanging out with the cool kids,
sitting on a desk, and Iida just very quickly
he first of all, bird boy complains about everybody being too noisy.
Yes, I don't know how to describe the way Iida is walking. But he quickly approaches him and yells for Takoyami to get off the to stop sitting on school property. So we know Bird Boy's last name at least. Yeah.
Well, no, is that just his full last name? I assumed his first name was Toko and his last name was Yami.
Tokoyami? I think it's
It could be Takoyami.
Also forgot Frog Girl introduced herself as Suyu Asui, but you can call me Sue.
Yeah. And they argue. Bird Boy also complains about Iida being too noisy. And Deku is just like, "Oh, that Iida." And also Uraraka is here.
Uraraka arrives,
being flirted with by Blonde Boy.
Yes, they are carrying books to the classroom. And he asks her if she's busy, or he asks her, We should get lunch sometime. What do you like?" And she's like, anything sweet. Oh, Deku. And she goes to check on him, and he's like, I'm fine. And then he notices Bakugo is not here.
Yeah.
And is like, "Hey, where's Bakugo?" And then it just cuts to him running to find Bakugo.
Yeah, and we hear voiceover telling him that they tried to convince Bakugo to stay with them, but he just left super early.
Before we go further,
we don't get voice actors.
We don't get a call out for Kirishima, but he's spoken enough these past few episodes that I feel like we should mention his voice actors. Yeah. English voice actor is Justin Cook.
Okay.
Who plays Raditz in the Dragon Ball franchise.
I know that name.
He's a Vegeta.
Yeah. Radish.
He plays Hatsuhara Soma in Fruits Basket.
Okay.
And Yusuke Urameshi in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay. I've heard those names before.
His Japanese voice actor is Toshiko Masuda, who is Kane in Fire Emblem Heroes and Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Okay.
And that's basically it.
Okay.
Deku runs to find Bakugo.
Yes.
And he sees Bakugo leaving the school.
Yes, they're just outside the school. Deku tries to convince Bakugo to slow down.
And they both stop a few feet apart. And Deku starts he steals himself. And he begins to explain that he wasn't lying to Bakugo about not having a quirk. Someone gave him his power. But he doesn't know how to use it very well.
And also can't tell Bakugo who gave it to him.
Right. He literally is someone gave me this power, but I can't tell you who, so don't ask. And he basically he basically is hey, I don't know how to use this power, but I'm gonna get better. And I'm gonna... You've always been better than me, but you're not gonna be anymore. I'm gonna beat you. You're so strong, and I respect you so much. And meanwhile, while all this is happening, Bakugo is just basically breaking down even more. And
we don't see his eyes for most of this scene, because they're covered by his hair. And when we do eventually see his eyes, as he turns to respond to Deku, he is tearing up. Which I think is the first time we've really seen that happen.
And Deku finishes his speech, and Bakugo, answers him by basically saying that Deku's lying.
And it's trying to make a fool out of him again.
And he won't lose to Deku. He says he talks about how like the Momo was right about how bad he did in the training exercise, and Todoroki was also so much better than him, and
he even lost to Deku.
And he's like, that's not gonna happen again. And he starts to storm off, still crying.
And then Deku is sad, and he sort of looks off to the side because he hears something coming, and then something blows its way past Deku all of a sudden, and we hear, "There you are! Bakugo! I found you!"
And All Might is here. And he has both of his hands on Bakugo's shoulders. And he gives a speech to Bakugo.
Yes. He says, "Just so you know, pride is an important attribute to have. But while you certainly have the abilities to become a pro hero, there's still plenty you have to learn." And then Bakugo is immediately like, "Let go of me, All Might."
And All Might is confused, but lets go. And Bakugo walks off quietly.
Yeah. Well, he also adds, "I'm gonna get better and more famous than you without your help." And then walks off. And All Might is like, "I guess he already got over it?"
Boy, being a teacher is hard. We also see in the school window watching all this are Uraraka, Sue, and Mina?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know why I'm more comfortable calling Mina by her first name than her last name.
Is it because it's also a Sailor Moon?
Possibly. And they're like, "Oh boy, that's intense." And Uraraka is just like, a fated battle between rivals.
And Sue says, "Whatever Midoriya was saying, it looked like Bakugo really wanted to punch him." And then Uraraka continues, "Childhood friends turned enemies."
And just presses her face closer against the glass. It's very funny. And I think that's
pretty much it.
That's the end of the episode.
Well, All Might then sort of starts up a conversation with Deku.
Oh, right.
Wanting to know what the fuck just happened. And Deku is like, nothing. And All Might's like, "No, I want to know everything you told him." And Deku's like, "I forgot."
Yeah, then we get credits.
Yes.
And after the credits, we get a stinger.
Yeah.
We get Deku narrating over, like...
we see a cityscape.
Yeah.
We also, I did note, there is an advertisement for Marlboro cigarettes.
God damn it. Okay.
It is spelled that way.
Deku basically is like, we thought...
I have this written down.
Oh, okay, good. Because I don't know if I can, paraphrase it.
And Deku narrates over the scene of this city. "None of us were prepared for what was to come. All Might warned us about cunning villains, and a few days later, we learned firsthand how terrifying they could actually be."
And I think we see, a bar.
Yes.
We see...
We see a table at the bar, and we see someone put down a newspaper that shows that All Might, it just says that All Might is now a teacher at UA. And we hear a voice saying, "Did you see this joke? It says he's a teacher now." And then we see a waiter.
A bartender.
A bartender, yes. Who is a man composed of just dark matter.
Yeah,
And we also see sitting at a table or at the bar, I think, the bird guy from the opening.
Oh, yes, the bird guy who fights
All Might
in the opening. Yes.
Bird Brain. And we hear this voice continue. "Hey, what do you think'll happen when the mighty symbol of peace is finally killed by the villains?" And we see a man with blue hair. Light blue hair.
Ashy blue hair.
And hands.
Covering his whole body.
Yeah, including his face in a like just a severed hand that kind of makes the shape of a gas mask over his face. And this is also a man we have seen in the opening.
Yeah. And then the episode ends for real.
Yeah.
I really like that scene. I completely forgot that scene happened.
Yeah, it's very good.
So the next episode is episode 9. Yeah, just do your best, Iida.
What a title.
Which first aired May 29th, 2016 in Japan, and July 7th, 2018 in English.
Okay.
The episode starts with Deku getting hounded by reporters.
Yes.
There's a crowd of press outside of UA who are just like asking every student who passes them by, what's up with All Might? Hey, heard All Might was teaching here, what's going on?
And Deku is just sort of awkwardly shakes them off.
We see them ask Uraraka, and she's like, "Oh, he's really muscly."
She's less convincing. I think.
Yeah.
She's more like, he's like really muscly, I guess.
Iida gives an answer that he. Did you write this down?
I wrote this down verbatim.
Okay, cool.
Iida, when asked about All Might's teaching ability, says, "His leadership and wisdom remind me on a daily basis that I attend the world's most prestigious educational institution. Of course, he's the personification of honor and integrity that one would expect, but he's also not afraid to show his students a more humorous side. It's truly a unique opportunity to be under the direct tutelage of the pro we all admire." And meanwhile, we see all the press just have fallen asleep.
Yeah, which is really frustrating, because that's a good answer.
That's the
answer they should have been looking for.
Yeah, it's a good answer, and it's a lot of answer. They could even, cut it up into little smaller bits if they wanted.
Then we see...
I think Coolsville sucks.
Then we see them try to approach Aizawa as he is entering.
Yes, the main sort of press lady.
Yeah, there's a reporter with a microphone. She's got like a ponytail.
She says, "Please, sir, could you get All Might for us? Also, you look like a mess. What's your deal?"
He does not answer.
I think he does. He doesn't answer that question.
Right.
But he does say, All Might is not here right now, and you should leave. And
then he goes into the school. And the press try to follow him when the fucking school gate slams. Just 2 fucking big walls of metal slam up from the ground.
And also we see a bunch of other walls of metal appear.
Knocking the main reporter lady on her ass. And she's like, what the hell happened? And another reporter is like, oh, didn't you know? That's the UA barrier.
The UA barrier.
And she's like, that almost killed me. And the other reporter guy explains that the barrier is supposed to keep out people who don't have student passes or other, stuff.
Yeah. Keep out the faculty, or not keep out the faculty, that would be very problematic. Keep out people who aren't the faculty or students.
Or, I assume teachers visiting, or not teachers, I assume parents visiting could get, a special pass that lets them in.
Probably. And the reporter lady is like, this is fucking censorship.
Basically. And I think that there are some other reporters who sort of commiserate with her. And then we cut to inside the classroom.
Yeah, in class 1A, where Aizawa is doing his thing. He says that he saw the recordings of the mock battles yesterday, and I think he says he was impressed. I can't remember if he also specifically mentions to Bakugo. He literally just says, "Bakugo, you're talented, so don't sulk like a child about your loss, okay?"
And Bakugo continues sulking.
Yes. I think... and then Aizawa does actually compliment Deku. Kind of, in the only way that Aizawa could, by being like, hey, you fucked up your body again real bad. You have potential, though. Fucking just use it good.
Mhm.
Use it, learn to use it better. And this makes Deku very excited, actually.
Mhm.
And then Aizawa is like, but anyway, on to business. There's a very important thing we need to do, and everybody is so worried that it's going to be another test. And he's like, no, it's just you need to elect a class representative.
And we just hear everyone's internal monologue, and they're like, oh, it's just normal school stuff. And also everyone immediately is like, hey, vote for me! Vote for me! And Deku explains to us that normally
at a normal school,
being a class rep would just be more work. But at a school like UA, it can be a good thing to put on your resume to get you a better agency.
Yeah.
For being a pro hero.
And he also, he sort of gingerly raises a hand to volunteer also.
And everyone is like clamoring to be elected. And then Iida is like, hold on now. Hold on. We are students of UA. We should do this in an orderly and reasonable fashion. We should vote. And we then see that he is also raising his hand.
Yeah. And everybody is like, but won't everybody just vote for themselves?
And Iida is like, you see, that's the trick. Anyone who gets multiple votes is clearly trusted. And everyone is like, alright, sure. Except for Aizawa is like zipping himself up into his sleeping bag and is like,
he literally
just do whatever you want as long as you're done before I finish my nap. And he just flops over.
And then they vote. And we see the results of the vote. And we see that everybody, for the most of the names we see on the list, had one vote. And we see that Yaoyorozu has had 2 votes. Got 2 votes. And Deku got 3 votes. And
Iida, meanwhile, is like, I got 0 votes. I should have known this would happen, but still.
I feel so bad for him there.
I think Kirishima is like, why didn't you vote for yourself?
And also Bakugo is pissed. And
did he get 0 votes too?
I think he got 1 vote.
Okay,
because he had to have got voted for himself.
Right.
And he demands everybody fess up who voted for Deku. And we see Uraraka in the background like, I'm just gonna keep my vote secret.
And we see Deku and Yaoyorozu standing up in front of the class. And Deku is extremely nervous.
He also has no idea how this happened.
And everyone is like, alright, sure. Deku's fine. Midoriya's fine. They don't call him Deku. Except for Uraraka.
So, and then Aizawa wakes up and is like, yeah, okay. Midoriya is the class rep and Yaoyorozu is the deputy rep.
I think then it's lunchtime.
Yeah, then we cut to lunchtime. And we hear Uraraka mention, hey, there's a fucking lot of people here. This is a big-ass cafeteria.
And I think Iida explains that, like, well, every student from the hero, support, and management courses eat in the same cafeteria. Which I think is the first indication we have that there are multiple, like, courses at UA.
They've specifically said the hero course before.
Right, sure.
But, yeah, this is our first sort of direct indication. I don't know what... I assume they're all related to pro hero shit.
Yes, management would be like, I guess...
Managing an agency,
you know, that sort of thing.
And support is maybe sidekick shit.
Support is gadgets.
Gadgets. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, gadgets and costumes and whatnot.
Poor management section, huh? Poor management course.
I mean, you have to sign up for it, so the people in it probably want to do it.
But why?
I don't know.
It's like people who choose to be math majors. I respect your decisions, but I don't understand them.
Yeah. And we see Uraraka, Iida, and Deku all at the same table.
Yeah.
Eating together. Deku is really nervous still.
Yes. Through the course of their conversation, Iida does reveal that he was one of the ones who voted for Deku.
Yeah.
And Deku is like, what the fuck?
Why'd you
do that? And Iida is like, you're fucking cool and smart. And
yeah,
like,
and I think
you figured... Huh?
He smiles when he says that.
Yeah.
He does. He also, you were about to say, he points out that Deku figured out the trick.
Yes.
To the entrance exam.
And
Uraraka is like, you should smile more, Iida.
Yeah.
And then Deku
Iida does also do the thing that basically everyone does when told that they should smile more, or at least every boy. Because if it happens to a girl, they either just are awkward because it's a rude thing to fucking say to a girl, or fucking just punch them, which is what they should do. Iida is a different story, though. Uraraka's not being a sexist to Iida.
What does Iida do? You didn't say.
I didn't say. Which is say I smile all the time.
Yes, yeah, Deku internally is like, oh, Iida's cool. I like Iida. He shouldn't be so hard on himself. I didn't really figure out. No, wait, this isn't till later. Sorry.
Yeah, but we do. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Sorry, I forget how they get on this.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Track. I think Uraraka points out that Iida looks like he should be class representative because of his glasses.
Yes.
And
Deku is internally like, is that how we should decide that?
And from there, I forget exactly how, but Iida...
I think Uraraka mentions, hey, I've been wondering something. You're fucking rich, right?
Yeah. And Iida is like, shit. I didn't want to tell anyone because I didn't want them to treat me differently.
Which is very cool.
And he explains that he is a member of the famous Iida hero family. He
says, the Iidas have been pro-heroes for generations. It runs in our blood. And both of the others are like, that's so fucking cool!
And he also talks about his big brother.
Yeah. The turbo hero, Ingenium.
Who we see some of the other Iidas, and they all have, like...
The armor
that Tenya has. And then Deku...
Also...
Yeah?
Sorry, just Deku does mention, when the hero Ingenium is brought up, does mention that he has 65 sidekicks.
Yes, at his agency. Yeah.
65! Ingenium giving Batman a run for his money.
It will be a long time until we see how hero agencies run, but that seems to be not like the average, but they all have lots of sidekicks.
I wonder how many sidekicks All Might has, besides Deku.
I think none.
Really?
I think he's a solo act.
Okay.
And I think Deku is not, like, legally his sidekick.
Right. He's just functionally his sidekick.
Deku internally is like, oh, Iida's really cool. He shouldn't be so hard on himself. I didn't figure out a trick. I should tell him. And he starts to say, hey, when an alarm goes off.
Yeah.
And everyone starts sort of panicking, and Iida turns to a third year who is sitting next to them. And it's like, what's going on? What's this mean? And he's like, the other student is like, oh, that means that someone's breached the walls. This hasn't happened, ever. And everyone, like, rushes out of the cafeteria. But I think we see, like a stampede in the hall trying to reach the exit. Iida, Deku, and Uraraka get, like, separated by the stampeding students.
Iida, I think, also complains about how disorderly everyone is being.
Iida gets, like, pushed up against the window in the hallway, and he sees that the breach...
The intruders.
Are the fucking press. And we sort of cut to, like, the press swarming over Aizawa and Present Mike. And, like, trying to get them fucking demanding they show them All Might.
Bring us All Might!
And Aizawa's like, All Might's not here. Present Mike, like, sort of leans over and is like, hey, they broke into the building. That kind of makes them villains, right? Why don't we just beat them up? And Aizawa's like, do you want your fucking name dragged through the mud? No, we're gonna wait for the cops. And Iida, seeing the press, is like, shit, it's not a villain. We don't need to panic. But I can't stop everyone. They won't hear me. And he sort of, like, is rushing to try to figure out a solution to this. And he comes to one. Iida sees Uraraka getting, like, dragged along by the stampede. And she yells out for him to help her. And he realizes a thing he can do.
Yeah.
And he calls out for Uraraka to grab his hand and make him float. And they reach out for each other, and she, like, taps him. And he floats above the crowd.
Yes.
And he is like, alright, I've only got one shot at this.
And his exhaust ports extend.
He pulls up his pants, and his exhaust ports come out, and he boosts. And he just spins.
Yep, because that's kind of how gravity works.
He spins all the way to the far end of the hall and slams into the wall.
Deku sees him fly overhead and is like, what the fuck are you doing?
He slams into the wall, and
he slams on top of the emergency exit sign, and just hits the wall with his full body, and now looks like the Running Man on the emergency exit sign.
And he, like, strains his neck, and is like, okay, I gotta be very clear. And he basically, like, yells at everyone that it's just the press. You're all students of UA. You're better than this. Calm down. But more eloquent.
More eloquent, yes. And everybody is like, oh. Okay.
Oh, okay,
and kind of chills out. And then we also see, a little bit later, the press getting pushed away by the cops who have arrived. And President Mike yells, that's a wrap! Get these vultures out of our station!
And I think then we go back to the classroom.
Yeah. Deku and Yaoyorozu are sort of addressing the class on their first day as class representatives.
And Deku is like, okay, we're gonna figure out the other class officers now. But first, listen, I don't want to do this. I nominate, instead of me, Tenya Iida. Because he was really good and cool, and he had his head on his shoulders when we were all panicking. So he should be class rep, not me. And
most of the other members of the class all vocally agree, and Iida humbly accepts the nomination as the become the new class rep.
Meanwhile, Aizawa is like, I don't care, stop, this doesn't matter, just get on with it.
And also, Yaoyorozu says, hello, I got 2 more votes than him.
She really should be the class rep. Iida should be deputy.
Yeah.
But after that,
we cut outside, and we see the barrier, the at the gate that we saw earlier, and it has been crushed into rubble.
And we see 3 figures.
Yes.
We see the rat man, the principal.
Yeah.
We see a BDSM woman. I forget who the third one is. I forget too. Present Mike?
It's probably Present Mike.
But the principal is like, so this is bad.
Yeah, the press couldn't have done this. So there must have been a villain who broke in.
And he wonders if this was just a display of power or a declaration of war.
And then we cut to a street. Elsewhere.
Mount Lady.
Yeah.
Kamui Woods. And the other guy. The other guy who showed up in the first episode.
The big guy, right?
No, the bird man.
Bird man?
The man with the bird hat.
Oh, right, bird hat. Because there's so many bird men in this show that are just bird men.
There's a big pink man.
Yes.
Who is holding a family hostage and is threatening to kill them.
Uh-huh.
And then...
Missouri Smash!
All Might appears and just smashes him away, saving the family.
Yeah. It is Missouri Smash, but it sounds like he says Misery Smash.
Yeah. And he is like, I saved you. I don't remember what he says.
Yeah.
And then he hears someone shouting that someone stole their car.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I can't be late to school, but I also can't leave someone in need.
Mm-hmm.
And he hops away. And as he's, like, leaping over the city to his destination, we get his sort of, like, internal thoughts. Internal thoughts as opposed to external thoughts.
You can think out loud.
Mm-hmm. He's thinking about how, like, he's been a lot weaker ever since he gave One for All to Izuku.
And also weaker since he exerted himself so much in the fight against Slime Man.
Mm-hmm. And he's worried about what that'll mean. I don't remember, does he come to, like, any sort of conclusion in this?
He doesn't really.
Okay.
But he does then get a flashback to last episode. The end of last episode. And we find out that Deku did in fact tell him. That he told All Might that Deku told Bakugo about One for All.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's like, well, Bakugo didn't believe him, so I can't be too harsh.
Mm-hmm.
And we sort of see him gently scolding Deku and explaining basically what he explained to Recovery Girl about One for All.
Mm-hmm. And how you can't. Ceiling War. Fucking Triforce can't let people know about the power that they could hold.
And then we see him, like, leave his reverie, and he has stopped the car thief by just smashing the hood of the car.
And then I think here's someone else crying for help, and it's like, fuck.
And leaps away. Then we cut to classroom again.
Yes. Aizawa talks about how they're gonna do another training mission thing. And this time, it's gonna be rescue training.
Yeah.
And Deku is super hyped for that shit, because he's not into so much the fighting, but he is into the saving people.
Because that's what All Might does.
Yeah.
And Aizawa explains that they'll be going to a off-site facility for the training.
Via bus.
And explains that they can wear whatever they want. And is like, I know you're excited about costumes, but, you're not used to them. Might make you worse.
And also says that there's going to be 3 faculty members overseeing this, which are Aizawa, All Might, and another faculty member.
And I think
he doesn't name.
Deku ponders if it's because of the reporters breaking in.
Yeah, if they're going on high alert. And we see everyone going to get on the bus, and Iida taking a proactive role in making sure everybody is very orderly and lines up and gets on the bus one by one.
I think Uraraka notices that Deku is not wearing his costume, and Deku is like, well, it got pretty fucked up. So...
And he says he's waiting for it to get patched up.
Yeah.
So it's not gone, thankfully, because that would be very sad.
Yeah.
Because it's sentimental.
He's wearing his like gym clothes with his like weird mask thing and gloves, I think.
Yeah, I guess the mask thing was fine.
Yeah.
And then once they're on the bus, Iida is upset because the bus didn't have the layout he expected.
The bus has like an open layout.
Yeah, so they didn't need to actually be quite as orderly as he needed them to be.
I forget who someone points out, like, hey, Iida, you're really organized and intense.
Yeah.
And then Sue is like, since we're pointing out the obvious, Midoriya, your power... It's like All Might's.
And Deku is like, what? No,
what?
I don't think, is it? I mean, Are you mad?
He also notably calls her Asui, and she's like, I told you to call me Sue.
Uh-huh. And then she's like, but it's not quite like All Might's, because he doesn't hurt himself. Which is not true.
And then Deku is like, well, my power isn't that great. It's not like, And Kirishima is like, well, I wish I had a power as flashy as yours. And he, like, turns his arm into rocks and is like, my power is, like, cool, but it's not, like, flashy. And Deku is immediately like, what? No, I think your power is really cool. You could really be a pro with a power like that.
Yeah.
And then Kirishima is like, well, Bakugo and Todoroki are the ones who have the real, like, pro-level powers.
And then
Sue
says, yeah, but Bakugo's always angry, so he'll never be that popular. And then Bakugo is like, what did you say? I'll kick your ass! And Sue is like, you see?
And then I think Lightning Boy says, we've only known you for like a few days, so it's pretty telling that we all already know that your personality is flaming garbage on top of stinking crap.
And they argue a bunch.
And Deku has entered the Twilight Zone.
Yes, because now he's really popular, and Bakugo is getting teased by everyone else.
And I think, like, Yaoyorozu is like, oh, this is gross. And Uraraka just says that, yeah, but it's fun. It's funny. It's funny to watch them fight. Uraraka probably, I don't know if this is canon, but she's probably really into wrestling. She just seems like she would be.
She is. Oh, she seems exactly the type.
And then Aizawa...
the fated battle between rivals.
Aizawa yells out for everyone to calm the fuck down and tells them that they've arrived. And they have arrived at a large domed building.
Yeah.
And they are greeted by a spacesuit.
A spacesuit. A person in a spacesuit.
They are greeted by the pro hero 13.
Yeah.
And Deku is immediately fanboying.
Yes.
And Uraraka is also fangirling.
Fangirling, yeah.
She says that 13 is one of her favorite pro heroes.
Yeah.
And 13 is voiced by Morgan Berry in English, who is Yoshiko Tsushima in Love Live.
Okay.
Female, one of the voices for female Corrin in Fire Emblem Fates.
Okay.
Not in Smash Brothers or anything, though, I think.
That's a shame.
And is going to be Tomoko Kase in Kase-san and Morning Glories, which is a Yuri anime that is coming out soon that I am very excited for.
Cool. Is she one of the main characters? Okay, cool.
She is Kase-san.
Okay.
Her Japanese voice actress is Inoko Inuyama, who is Meowth.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. We just got Meowth in a spacesuit here.
13 is like a big, like, bulky, like,
She's maybe the best female hero design so far.
Yeah, pretty much. She's a big, bulky spacesuit.
Yeah. She's the space hero 13 also.
Right. And her like, head is like a dome.
It's like Apollo 13.
Yeah.
God, I'm fucking dumb.
Yep.
I just put that together. I was like, why the fuck is she called 13?
Her head is like a dome, and she's got like two big white eyes on like a black void.
Yeah.
And she leads them into the building. She leads them in.
She's very nice, also.
Yes.
Very friendly.
See that there are a bunch of different facilities around.
Yeah. And one of the kids is like, it's like an amusement park.
And 13 tells them the name of the building.
Yes, which is the Unforeseen Simulation Joint.
Or USJ. And all of the students are immediately like, just like Universal Studios Japan. And
13 goes over the sort of like the different facilities within the USJ. There's a place simulating a big fire. There's a place simulating like a rainstorm. A place that's like a big fucking mountain. Earthquake land.
And the students like are all like, oh, cool. I think Sue is like, oh, I can't wait to show everyone how good I am in water.
Yeah. And she 13 gives a speech about how
Right.
important it is.
She mentions her power, black hole,
Oh, that's right.
and
yes.
explains how she can use it to suck things up. And while she's doing this, Uraraka is just very quickly nodding her head up and down. And she explains that she can use her power really well to save people.
Yeah.
But also
could kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you gotta be fucking careful.
And she's like, you all know the limits of your powers pretty much at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that you could probably kill people too. So be fucking careful. Because even if you're trying to save someone, if you say have an explosion quirk, she doesn't say this, but
for example.
And all the students are kind of oh.
Although Deku is pretty excited, I think.
Deku is yeah, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, because he already knows this, because he's already been terrified of accidentally killing Bakugo.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're excited to learn how to use their powers to save people and not just fight.
And Aizawa starts to be like, hey, alright, let's go, when the power goes out.
Yeah.
And we see a sort of black hole open.
Not from 13. This is not 13's doing.
In the distance, near there's a plaza in the middle.
Yeah, with a big fountain for some reason.
That cuts off when the power goes off.
Just to have it, I guess.
Looks nice. Resting. It's for resting.
I guess. Okay, yeah, that's fair. The mist is cooling.
Mm-hmm. And a bunch of people start to emerge.
Yeah, from this big black void. Which also, for a moment, I want to point out, there's a moment when the void first forms that it looks like the shape of a man.
Yes, yeah.
Specifically also reminding me of the man who was made of dark matter in that last episode in the bar.
And I think... I don't remember if it happens immediately, but it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
We see the Handman.
Yeah. I think he's the first one to come out of the void. And then also Brainbird. Mm-hmm. And then a bunch of other people.
And Aizawa he yells at the students to stay back. Mm-hmm. And he puts on his goggles. And I think Deku steps forward and is like, wait, what's going on? And Aizawa yells at him again. Mm-hmm. And he says that those are villains.
Those are real villains. This is not part of the test.
Mm-hmm.
And the episode ends. Next time. This gonna, the next time on is just Sue and Deku talking, basically, just chatting almost, except Deku is like, hey, this is fucking bad, and Sue, he's like, this is fucking bad, Asui, and she's like, I told you to call me Sue, and Deku's like, is now really the time to be correcting me? And then also, as Deku is explaining the title of the next episode, Sue is like, oh, that's why Minetta's hair is like that. I get it now.
So we're gonna get more Minetta. We're gonna get some Minetta next episode. So yeah, that's those episodes.
Mm-hmm. I didn't write down the name of the next episode.
Right, it's fine.
We'll get to it. So
there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to sort of deal with. Mm-hmm. The first episode, both of those episodes were really good, I think. Mm-hmm. Do you have any questions you can ask me? Because there's so much to talk about that I don't know where to start.
Okay. Oh, we forgot to mention also notably, before they enter the facility, Aizawa gets a call from All Might.
Oh, right.
Where he explains that he used up all his power saving people before he got to school. Mm-hmm. And is like, I won't be able to make it, but I'll try to catch the tail end. Mm-hmm. Which is important to know. Yeah.
And Aizawa's just like, fuck this guy. So fucking unprofessional.
We got some more of the side characters.
Yes, which I'm really excited for.
We didn't get a ton. Yeah. But we got some.
They're all really charming.
Yeah.
Except for fucking Naval Laser and Minetta.
Yeah. You've met everyone's favorite characters. Frog.
Yeah, Sue is very cool. I like all of them, honestly. Some of them don't have a ton of development so far, but
can't really say much about the big guy.
Yeah. Hey! Sato!
Or the I don't even know how to describe him.
Who?
The guy who was teamed up with fuck.
So unprofessional.
Who's
You're my All Might.
the guy with the head? You know, the mountain head, like
The guy who was teamed up with the big guy you were just talking about.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of him.
No. I don't even know if we have any lines from him.
I don't think he speaks.
Ever? Or
He does. Okay. I don't think he speaks.
Okay. No clarification. Okay.
We don't get a lot of him. We don't get we get some of Shoji, kind of.
Yeah. Which one showed you again?
The multi-arms.
Multi-arms, yeah.
Duple arms.
Lot of Todoroki.
Yes, yeah.
And some for bird.
Yeah,
Takayami. The bird.
Tokoyami.
Takayaki.
No. Yeah. How do you feel about the plot sort of going into real villains now?
So I was actually kind of disappointed
Yeah.
by the end of that episode, because they're hyping up, okay, you're gonna get to practice saving people, not just fighting. And now here's a bunch of people you gotta fight. Which is kind of annoying.
I will say,
I don't know. Yeah?
There is a bit, there's some saving that happens.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess. I think I shared just the character's disappointment with this exciting exercise being interrupted by actual murderers. And it is also interesting so far. The villains are treated with they're treated with a pretty heavy seriousness by the narrative, and including most of the villains we've seen so far who have been outright directly murderous.
Yes.
The guy threatening to kill an entire family in this episode. Fucking nasty slime man.
Yeah. I guess the guy, the very first villain we saw in the first episode did not seem to
Yeah, he was just causing a big fuss.
Yeah. He just kind of panicked because he stole some stuff and got cornered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to me. This is it's very it's pretty standard superhero stuff for the superheroes, but I feel like outright murderous villains are a little less common.
Yeah. Also, the designs of the villains that we see emerge from the portal.
Yeah.
Are they have a sort of horror aesthetic to them.
Yeah.
I mean, Hand Guy.
Hand Guy is awful.
He just has hands all over his body.
Yeah, he's got a hand gas mask. Bird Guy is gross. One of them's just a void. Although I will point out, when he's wearing the fucking bartender uniform, Void Man, he reminds me so much of Grillby from Undertale.
Oh, so he's worse.
Worse? What?
Wait, is Grillby who I think he is?
Probably not. Who do you think is Grillby?
Is that not the guy who, his face...
No, that's Burger Pants.
Oh, okay. Listen! Who the fuck's Grillby?
He owns Grillby's.
What the fuck is Grillby's?
It's a little bar and restaurant. He's a fireman.
Where?
In fucking Snowden.
Oh, that place.
Yeah, it's Grillby's.
He doesn't have, a portrait or anything.
No.
He's just, one of those NPCs.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a distinctive look, and he's just a man made of fire.
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess that's just what bartenders wear.
Yes.
But also, he's got no real face. He's just got kind of some eyes, which is like Void Man. But yeah, the villains are they're intimidating. And I don't know what their deal is, really.
Yeah.
I know that one guy wants to kill All Might.
Yep. It's gonna be a long time until we really learn their deal. I don't know if we even really find out in Season 1. We learn a bit of their deal in Season 1, if I remember correctly. Anyway, we also got a lot more Bakugo.
Yes. In a way that is really good, I think.
Yeah.
I can see why people like him.
Yeah.
I understand why people like him. He's still an asshole, but like...
My problem with Bakugo fans is the ones who are like, oh, he's a pure sweet baby who just needs to be cuddled, and like...
Right, no.
He's an asshole, who has been, like, consumed by toxic masculinity.
Yes.
And it would be great if he could get over that.
But until then, nobody can be faulted for making fun of him for being an asshole.
Right. Like, All Might, Aizawa, the teachers, they have a responsibility to help Bakugo and, like, put him on a better path.
Yes. Which is not gonna happen with Aizawa, I don't think.
Super not.
Because he's Aizawa.
But
All Might clearly tried.
Yeah. Deku and the other students, they're not obligated to anything.
Yeah. Especially because he's an ass to all of them.
He's a real asshole.
Especially Deku, but... and we also get some more little world building. Not world building. Story hints. Plot hints. Like, there's some unidentified friend of All Might's that knows about One for All. And also, for some reason, Recovery Girl knows about One for All.
I guess
I mean, he went to school here, and she is the nurse, so, like... And also, presumably... So we know that his powers are getting weaker because of a specific fight he was in fairly recently.
Yeah, that no one heard about.
Right. It's possible, though, that, like, One for All, like, as with Deku, has just always hurt him to use in some way, which means that Recovery Girl would know about it.
Right. I don't know if that's the case. It could be. I just don't remember the exact details of how One for All worked for him.
I wonder, what the fuck did that guy look like as a teenager?
All Might?
Yeah. Will we ever know that? Because I just love the idea.
We'll see him. When we get to the movie, we'll see him in his early 20s, I think.
Okay.
But I don't know if we ever see him as a teenager.
Imagining him at UA is so weird, because, like, was he skinny most of the time? Or,
yeah, right?
Like, do his former classmates know about how he's, he has to shrink every
we know
once in a
that
while?
there are a lot of pro heroes who do know.
Yeah. He mentions, like, a specific team of pure heroes. Pro heroes?
Right.
Of pre-pure heroes?
So
that might even be his, like, former classmates. I don't know.
Could be.
And also the principal knows about One for All being an inherited thing. Why is the principal a little rat man?
God, I don't remember.
Is he a pro hero? Like,
he is.
Okay.
I don't remember how long it is until we get. I think it's a long time until we get the explanation for why he's a rat man.
Like, is his quirk just I'm a little rat boy? I'm just a little rat.
Yeah. I think the reveal of his power is really funny, so I'm not gonna spoil it.
And yeah, we got more Yaoyorozu and her name, and she's very cool. I love Slime Girl. She's so excitable and, like, friendly, and and she interrupts Naval Laser constantly. Yeah,
there was a bit on the bus that we didn't mention.
Oh yeah, she calls him Sweetie?
Yeah, which I think is just her being condescending.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my Naval Laser is
very flashy, very
chic.
Cool.
And she's like, well, it's pretty lame if it hurts your tummy, sweetie.
She's very good. I love her.
Her hero outfit isn't, like, the best. It's got a lot of cleavage. But I do like the, like...
Again, it's not the worst.
I like the big fur collar she has.
Yeah.
And the, like, weird patterning on her, like...
Also, it's a jumpsuit, which is
cool.
It's, like, it's not like a standard, like, skin-tight jumpsuit that you see on a superhero. Like, she's got fucking baggy pants. It's very fucking 70s looking. And yeah, again, I would say she is, I forget where I put the rankings for the female classmates' outfits. I didn't notice headphone jack girl before.
Yeah.
And her outfit is just fine. It's probably the best one.
Her outfit is just like a tank top and, and a cool jacket and like some jeans or something.
Did we mention I think she also has like dyed hair?
Yes, she does.
She's so cool.
She's very cool. We see her using her headphone jack on her phone on the bus.
Oh, that's okay.
Her headphone jacks, by the way, I don't think we described properly, which are like just hanging from her earlobes. They are her earlobes.
Yeah. We don't see her ears, I don't think, under her hair.
We do.
I
think we do.
I don't remember seeing them.
Okay.
Because I just assumed they were her ears. That was all the ears she had. But they have their fucking flesh wires.
Right.
Because everything, that's just the aesthetic of this show. Just, you have metal bits covered by skin.
It's lots of like, just very slightly nasty. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I guess Iida's engines are like just, they're fine.
They're not grotesque.
But they're still nasty.
Yeah. The fucking elbow guy.
The elbow guy, yeah. Duplo arm Shoji.
Yes.
Is actually very gross. I like him. But he's very gross.
It's kind of it's an aesthetic. They're going for an aesthetic. I think it works. But yeah, it's good. It's good episodes. Also, we didn't mention when Deku is explaining to Bakugo about One for All. He mentions it sounding impossible and like something out of a comic book.
Right.
Which just makes me want to see what comic books are like in this universe. A universe with actual superhero. Like, there's all my action figures. There's probably all my comic books, right?
Maybe.
Like, there's probably pro-hero comic books.
Maybe.
Also, what's the legality of depicting real-life villains in such comic books? Do you need to get their say-so?
Yeah, especially, like, if they've been caught. Like,
yeah.
Do you have to take a lawyer to prison?
And then just imagine you take a lawyer with you to prison to talk to Slime Man. To ask if you can use his likeness in a comic book. But yeah, it's good episodes. I'm excited to see what the fuck is going on. What's these villains?
What's happening at Universal Studios Japan?
What's happening at Universal Studios Japan? What's up with this weird rat man?
You're so you are very intent on knowing what's up with the principal.
I want to know he's a man of mystery. He's an enigma.
That's fair.
Also the gas mask man does appear in the opening.
Gas mask man?
Gas mask hands man. Because again, it looks like a gas mask.
You said that before.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
But still, I've been wondering about him because he gets such a like prolonged slot on the opening, and it seems my suspicions were correct about him being the sort of main villain right now.
Yeah. Is that it?
I think so. Can I hit you? Don't tell me if I'm right.
Okay.
But I want to say a prediction
that
I have. Just knowing how stories happen a lot of the time, and plot twists and such, I wonder if Hands Man is All Might's friend who knows about One for All.
Okay. As always, thanks for listening. You can find me at Lorena27 on Twitter.
And you can find me at Frylord Zarek on Twitter.
And you can find the show at late_school. And thank you to Soichi Sakagami for use of the song True.
Go Beyond!
Plus Ultra!